You know, when they called medic, I had to go. That's what I was trained for, and I knew that those fellas depended on me. And if I didn't go, I knew they were going to die. So I went all the time. And that chaplain, Edgar, wrote a letter of condemnation for me when I come home, and stating that I did my duty and was very conscientious. When they called, said there's wounded up there, you had to go. And if they shelled us, when I told you when we were going down Route 6, a German tank, an 88 shot at us, oh, it's so threatening. I mean, I can't describe how bad it is. And it missed us, and it went down the road probably another mile, and the explosion was tremendous. But we got up and started creeping up the road to these fellows that we thought were wounded. So that's the way it was. You just had to go. I didn't have no choice. One time, they called back and said there was a wounded fellow up there, and this is when we were already in the bunker that the Germans had, and I thought we were in relative safety, you know, because it was built so solidly. And they called up and said it was wounded, and I went up the road, and I found a fellow that they were carrying back, and we put him on the litter, and I checked him to see where he was wounded, and his intestines was laying out on his stomach. And I took a little bit of sulfadiazine, just sprinkled the pills around, covered him up. I said, "You'll be all right. You'll be all right." And we got him back to the aid station. And of course, I didn't have to ask the doctor, but I did ask the doctor after the after he was put away in another section, so that he wouldn't hear. And I said, "What's his chances?" And the doctor went like that. But I knew that when I told him he's going to be all right, I knew I was lying. I knew he didn't stay, because peritonitis sets in right away, and that's it. There's no treatment.
So a lot of times you're probably the last person that most of these guys talk to, so they're looking to you for reassurance.
Yes, positively. And I told him regardless, that you're going to be all right. And a lot of times I know I was fibbing, but I just did what I had to do. Matter of fact, when we were moving forward, I remember I had my medic kit on me, and walking up with the troops, and they kept going, and there was a dead German, there was a wounded German there, and I went over to him, and his jaw was only hanging by one side, was all hanging down on his chest. And I gave him a shot of morphine, and I tried to bundle him up as best I could, and I knew that there was more medics behind me, and so I got back with the troops and kept on going. And one fella, German, that I treated and brought back to the aid station, he gave me his watch, and I told him, no, that's not, no, and he insisted, and it was an inexpensive watch, so I took it. But he insisted. He was a young fellow like me, maybe even younger. The Germans, a lot of them were young, and he insisted I have it, and we treated him, and he was in pretty good shape, and they evacuated him back.